Okay, picture this. The year is 1212. We're deep inside a secluded, dimly lit monastery in Podlasiec, Bohemia. The atmosphere in the room is just heavy. It's tense, it's terrifying, and a high-stakes trial is underway. The man sitting in the hot seat is a monk named Herman the Recluse. Now, Herman had sworn sacred oaths, right? Poverty, celibacy, absolute devotion, the whole shebang. But he broke those vows. He committed a sin that the medieval church had absolutely zero mercy for. He fell deeply in love with a local woman. And when the high priest caught wind of the secret scandal, their verdict was ironclad and completely merciless. Herman was handed a sentence that would literally make your blood run cold. He was to be walled up alive. Just think about that. Brick by brick, a wall would be built around him, sealing him inside a pitch-black tomb to die a slow, agonizing death.
So, naturally, Herman is desperate. He's weeping, he's absolutely terrified of this living tomb, and he begs for mercy. The monks, seeing an opportunity to exploit this condemned man one last time, offer him a completely impossible ultimatum. The ultimatum? 12. If Herman wants to escape this horrific fate, he has to write down all of human knowledge into a single book. But here is the terrifying catch. He wasn't given a lifetime to complete this colossal task. He was given just one single night. Exactly 12 hours, locked all alone inside a freezing, pitch-black dungeon. Fast forward to the next morning, the heavy iron doors of the dungeon groan open, and the monks stand there absolutely paralyzed. Because sitting calmly right in the center of that freezing room is Herman. And directly in front of him lies this colossal monument of leather and parchment. The monks are just gasping, right? They're asking how on earth one man could possibly write such a massive tome in a single night. Herman, with these hollow, empty eyes, slowly raises his head and delivers this truly chilling response. "Who said I prayed to God?" And moments after stepping out of that dungeon, Herman collapsed and dropped dead under completely mysterious circumstances.
When the monks actually opened up that massive book, the ground practically slipped from beneath their feet. They were staring at this incredibly sinister script, written in a bizarre language on premium vellum. It became terrifyingly clear that Herman had traded his very soul to the devil in exchange for a swift death over the agony of being walled up alive. And that wild story brings us to the formal subject of our explainer today, the Codex Gigas, infamously known to the world as the Devil's Bible. It is widely considered to be the most dangerous and cursed artifact in human history. So let's dive into exactly what dark secrets were inked into these pages, why it was banned for centuries, and see if we can decode this bizarre historical mystery together. Now, before we even get into what's written inside, the physical scale of this artifact alone completely defies rational explanation. To create a book of this magnitude, it wasn't just a matter of gathering a few extra pieces of parchment. This unholy craftsmanship required a literal slaughterhouse. It took the hides of 300 donkeys just to bind the pages together. Just think about the logistics of assembling 300 donkey hides in medieval Bohemia overnight. It's simply beyond any rational explanation. And building on that staggering physical impossibility, let's look at the actual contents. The book contains an overwhelming 644 pages. But these aren't just plainly written pages with black ink. No, they are intricately illuminated with vibrant gold, crimson, and azure inks. To put that into perspective, in 1212, those specific pigments were so incredibly rare and wildly expensive that normally only massive empires or royalty could even dream of affording them, let alone a condemned penniless monk locked in a freezing dungeon. To round out this sheer physical impossibility, the Codex Gigas measures 3 feet long, 9 inches thick, and weighs a staggering 75 kilograms. That is over 165 pounds. Imagine trying to lift that. Just maneuvering the book, turning those massive, heavy leather pages, and applying intricate calligraphy overnight, it really hammers home the point that one man, isolated in the pitch dark, could never have physically created this all by himself. But here is the real anomaly, the thing that truly baffles historians. When we write continuously for even a couple of hours, what happens? Fatigue sets in, our hands cramp up, and our handwriting degrades. Yet experts who have meticulously studied the Codex Gigas note that the calligraphy remains perfectly symmetrical from the very first letter to the absolute last. I'm talking 0 errors, not a single ink smudge. It looks as though it was printed by a modern computer, which completely and utterly defies the biological laws of human capability some 800 years ago. So what is actually in it? Well, the crucial point lies deep within this pristine text. If you flip to page 580, which is arguably the most infamous page in textual history, you are met with a towering, grotesque portrait of the devil himself. In the medieval whispers and legends, they claim that Satan actually drew this self-portrait with his own hands, embedding a literal drop of his own unholy blood into the rare ink to leave a piece of his essence forever trapped behind the parchment. Surrounding this chilling portrait is a really dark proverb. It reads, "Honor the book, and the devil makes you a king. Defy the book, and the devil strips you to bones." Now, this wasn't just some spooky piece of medieval poetry. The monks were so terrified of the artifact that they tossed it into a dark corner of the monastery to rot. But soon after, that proverb proved to be deadly accurate, and a horrific curse woke up. It woke up and left a continuous path of ruin starting right in the 1200s. Basically, right after the book was hidden, the high priests at the monastery started dying in horrific, completely unexplained ways. Then, a massive famine struck Bohemia. The monastery of Podlajica became so wretchedly impoverished that the monks literally faced starvation. To survive, they had to do the unthinkable. They pawned their most guarded, cursed secret, the Devil's Bible itself, and in doing so, unleashed it upon the world. Following the timeline here, by 1594, the book fell into the hands of Emperor Rudolf II of the Roman Empire. Now, Rudolf was dangerously obsessed with the occult, and he eagerly brought the Codex right into his grand palace. But within just 2 years, this mighty Roman emperor was reduced to a penniless, broken madman. His sanity was completely shattered. He locked himself in a dark room, ignoring his entire empire and family. He spent months just staring blankly at page 580, screaming to his guards that the devil's voice was echoing from the pages, demanding an unspeakable task. By 1612, the curse had, just like the proverb said, stripped him to bones, and he died completely ruined. Centuries later, the Swedish army seized the book as spoils of war, locking it deep inside the Royal Library of Stockholm. Now picture this exact scene. It's 1683, it is 2 a.m., an elderly night watchman named Lars is on duty. The library is a completely sealed vault, no open windows, no drafts, but suddenly a violent, freezing gale sweeps through the stone halls. Lars freezes in his tracks because he hears the distinct, heavy sound of rustling paper. Lars cautiously approaches the heavy oak table where the Codex Gigas rests, and he watches as this 75-kilogram book is opening all on its own. The heavy leather pages are flipping violently in this unnatural wind, and they stop precisely at page 580, the face of the devil. Lars is completely hypnotized by it. He steps closer, his eyes locked onto the grotesque painting. He leans in to look closer, and without warning, slam! The massive book violently closes on its own, instantly crushing the watchman's skull. But here is the absolute craziest part. The next morning, when the other guards arrive to relieve Lars of his shift, his body has completely vanished. The only evidence that Lars was ever even there was a thick pool of fresh blood smeared tightly between the heavy leather pages of the massive tome. And of course, the curse didn't just stop there. On May 7th, 1697, a catastrophic fire spontaneously erupted inside the Royal Library. Thousands of priceless historical texts were instantly burned to ash. But when the desperate library staff rushed into the flames to check on the Codex Gigas, they witnessed a terrifying anomaly. While the heavy wooden tables surrounding it were completely incinerated, the delicate vellum pages of the Devil's Bible didn't have a single burn mark on them. It was as if the book was protected by an invisible, unholy shield. As the roof actually began to collapse, a brave librarian realized the only way to save the massive book from being buried in the rubble was to throw it straight out of a high window. The sheer 75-kilogram weight of the book sent it crashing into the courtyard below, and during that frantic fall, 10 pages tore away from the binding and vanished forever. But historians, they strongly believe those pages were not simply lost to the fire or the wind. They believe they were intentionally stolen and secreted away by the church. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would the church risk everything to steal 10 pages from a cursed artifact? Well, a really terrifying historical theory suggests that those specific 10 missing pages contained something far more dangerous than anything else in the book. They allegedly contained the ultimate apocalyptic ritual, the exact phonetic incantations required to manifest the devil directly into our physical world.
Which brings us right up to the present day. Today, more than 3 centuries after that great fire, the Codex Gigas rests safely inside a heavily guarded, airtight glass case at the National Library of Sweden. But here's the wild thing. If you're feeling incredibly brave, you don't even have to travel to Stockholm to see it. The entire massive text has been perfectly digitized and is available right now on archive.org, though, yeah, you will need to master ancient Latin to actually decode its true secrets.
So, bringing all these facts together, I want to leave you with this final thought. Would you ever dare to read it? Knowing the famine, the madness, the vanished watchman, and that completely unholy craftsmanship, do you believe the Codex Giga is truly a demonic artifact penned by dark forces? Or is it just the most incredibly elaborate historical myth ever preserved? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, as fascinating as all this is, the devil definitely won't help you pass your exams, so maybe stick to your regular school textbooks for now. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and always keep questioning the history laid out in front of you. Catch you next time.